It's Friday morning. This is No Stoplights. I'm Ken Ard. I want to thank our sponsors. Our title sponsor is MPD Electric Co-op, lowest rates in the entire southeastern United States, committed to remaining the most reliable, low-cost provider serving the entire PD region of South Carolina. I want to thank Victor's, Francis Marion University, Carolina Bank, Pepsi of Florence, Micky Finn's One-Stop Party Shop, PLC Commercial Real Estate, Florence County Legislative Delegation, McCall Farms, and Greystone Properties. As South Carolina evolves, it changes. Some say for the better, some say not so much. One of the issues and debates we've had in this state over the last decade or so has been the blue laws. We'll discuss that in just a few moments. One of our sponsors on No Stop Lights is Micky Finn's One-Stop Party Shop. The proprietor of Micky Finn's One-Stop Party Shop is Rick Havekost. Not only are they a sponsor of our show, he's a friend of mine and someone who keeps me informed on what's happening in the General Assembly regarding alcohol. I know when you say alcohol in South Carolina, you start talking about the Sabbath and churches and blue laws and whatnot. Nobody's naive or oblivious to any of that. But as South Carolina grows and as South Carolina prospers, we do have to consider what our future looks like. I've asked Rick to join us today because he is more familiar than I am, more dedicated to this particular industry than I ever will be, and is a very astute business guy. So I've asked Rick to join us today to try to explain what he's on a mission to do. Rick runs Micky Finn's One-Stop Party Shop, but he's involved in, I guess, a lobbying effort or an advocating effort to convince the General Assembly that we need to look at Sunday sales of liquor differently than we historically have. Rick, how are you?
I'm good.
Did I properly articulate who you are, what you're about, and why you're here?
Absolutely. Pretty simple. I own Micky Finn's in Florence, so a lot of booze.
Okay. House Bill 4001 means very little to you, the people, but it means a lot to you.
It's a carryover bill, so we're in year 2. It gets debated every year. It's a simple bill. It's a bill to allow a referendum to have each county vote for Sunday sales. So it's not changing any laws. It's like any other referendum. Each county, I would have to convince the county council to put it on the referendum. Then I would have to convince the people to vote for the referendum. And then I would have to decide whether I want to open up on Sunday. So this is not a mandate. It's not a new law. It's a total choice by the people, by the county council, and by the liquor store owner or the person who's holding the license. And I use an example. It's like, well, wouldn't you open? Wouldn't everybody open? I say, no, I don't open on Christmas and Thanksgiving and New Year's Day. Those are days I can open. If you don't want to open on Sunday, you don't have to open on Sunday. So it's a total choice issue. And we've, and if you let me pontificate here for a little
bit. Sure, I will.
But here's what's so frustrating about the Sunday sales deal. You can buy alcohol in a restaurant. You can buy alcohol at a sporting event on Sunday. You can buy alcohol in a grocery store. You can buy alcohol at Micky Finn's. You can't buy liquor. But I can go to a bar and buy liquor. If you are so inclined, you and I can go on the way to church and get Bloody Marys and then go to Central if we want to. You can buy liquor at Applelaney's, Applebee's, Victor's, wherever. But you can't buy it to go home. And the safest place in South Carolina to buy alcohol is in a liquor store. And you're like, why is that? Well, liquor stores have separate licenses. We're highly regulated by ABL, Alcohol Beverage Licensing, DOR, Department of Revenue, and SLED. You have to be 21 years of age to work in a liquor store. You can be 16 at a convenience store and buy THC and beer and wine. You think that kid is really caring about age? You can't even walk in a store. The hours of operation of a liquor store are 9 to 7. Now, this bill is even more limiting on Sunday. It's a 1 to 5. I'm not here to debate the hours.
Why is that, Rick? I mean, was that some compromise between the people like yourself and the members of the General Assembly?
There's two things on the, if you want to call it. Compromise number one, listen, we live in South Carolina. I get it. And religion and people that want church, it's a reckoning back to the blue laws, and we've had that discussion about we couldn't even buy certain things on Sundays. You couldn't, Lowe's had to be closed. You could buy food and pharmaceuticals, so that's about it. And we got away from that years, thank goodness. Pretty much everything can open. So it is to appease the religious side, and I don't have a problem with that. But what drives me more nuts is I'm a part of an association, an ABC Stores I founded with about 5 others, large players, and we've instituted change from mini bottles to free pour. We fight against expansion of liquor licenses. They wanted 3 to go unlimited. We settled at 6, so that's why you can only own 6 stores. So they're not liquor stores everywhere. We understand the conservative side, Brothers Against Drunk Driving, all that stuff. Those are all things you have to do. But a lot of our association, and this is where I stand apart. I'm on the board, and I pay about $50,000 in dues a year with 5 other people, and then we raise money to hire a lobbying firm. But the association stance is supposed to be neutral, but a lot of our members are small stores, might be in Bennettsville, and they're mom and pops, and they're owned by the family members, and they don't want to work. Well, laziness is not an issue that you have that it should affect my business. I have 3 stores in Florence. I think I would only open one, the one out at Buc-ee's. It's I-95. If you go out there on a Saturday, there's 100 cars in that parking lot. There's 5 from South Carolina. All those people are from out of state. I don't know if people we open on Sundays in 5 Points. We don't do hardly any business. It's a convenience thing. We clean stores and do inventories. So you don't have to open, but I'm fighting against my own members because they don't want to work. It's their day off. I was like, well, hell, why don't we close on Saturdays too? I don't like Saturdays. So there's a little bit of appeasement on the hours, and there's and who I'm fighting. I'm fighting a lot of different issues, but our own association is they're very preoccupied with the THC and the hemp products right now. So I'm kind of out here on my own lobbying for these Sunday sales, and it's mainly because of all the tax revenue and all the I'd make money that would go through that I-95 core that are from Virginia, Ohio, Georgia, and Florida. And when they pull up to my door and it's locked and they see we're closed, you could see the disgust. They get in their car and they're driving to the state line. And all that revenue, we want to get rid of property taxes and income taxes. I think I would do about $4 million a year out there on Sundays, just doing the average what we do on Saturdays. You just add another day. It's the busiest day of the week out there. Now, what does that mean? Well, you'd have my profit on that. That's income tax. But you would charge 8% sales tax. You also have to buy a license for Sunday. That's totally separate, which the state gets. It's a lot of revenue. I don't like taxes, but if we're always looking for a way to offset some other things, this is pretty dang easy to let the people from Ohio buy booze on their way home.
I want to go back a half step. Your requesting a referendum is not statewide. You want to empower the county governments to allow the citizens of that county to decide whether or not they want to allow Sunday sales of liquor.
Correct. Well, it's the same referendum that we had on beer and wine, which just passed 2 years ago in Florence.
And it's not a statewide referendum.
It is not. It is the 46 counties. Every county would have to vote, probably by council, to put it on the ballot. So you got counties that are going to be hard nosed. There's 5 counties that would do it hard yes. And here's why. We'll use Horry County or Beaufort County. You got people coming and going vacation and checking in their beach houses at 5 o'clock on Saturday. And by the time they get the kids settled and they go to the grocery store, they realize that the liquor stores aren't open till Monday. And they're like, why is that? I sell to all the bars and restaurants statewide. I operate in 46 counties, and we sell to the Marshwalk. I'll use that example. I sell to every one of those restaurants. And July 4th, you know what day that is this year? It's a Sunday. It's a Saturday. Well, guess what they're going to be out of on Sunday? And guess how many people are still coming in? It's a check-in, check-out day. There'll be 500,000 more people down there. My phone, whether I got to decide where I'm going to break the law or be really nice about it and say I can't do it. I can't deliver alcohol to any of the bars and restaurants in South Carolina on Sunday. We have to stop at 7 p.m. Saturday night. Now, our number one industry in this state is tourism. I'm assuming, I'm guessing. It's pretty dang close.
There's an argument between agribusiness and tourism.
Correct. And here, our number one revenue stream for the 5 months out of the year in the summertime, you can't buy as a visitor to our state, can't go to a liquor store. You got to go to a bar and restaurant and drive home, which is crazy. You can't go buy it and go cook out at your house. But even the bars and restaurants statewide cannot purchase alcohol, even though they're open. They can open and sell on Sunday. But if they're out of something, they're out. There is no remedy. So I've gotten restaurants to join me in this fight. A lot of people thought it was some other reason why we didn't sell on Sundays, and I'm trying to, bring, shed light to the issue. So I've got a lot of the restaurants around the state saying, "Oh, I'll join you on this fight. I'll give you some money, help you lobby, or you go this. I'll share it on your social media." But it is absolutely nuts that you can't buy a product. You can buy it anywhere you want, except in the safest place. I can't have an employee under 21 years of age working for me. You have to be 21 or older to be in the store. I have to have a certain amount of liability. The doors to get in and out of my buildings can't be more than 36 inches, not 1 centimeter wider. They measure it. I can't have a window to my back room larger than 8 inches by 8 inches. SLED comes in weekly and does inspections for open seal bottles. It is outside of a pharmacy, I don't know a more highly regulated than the 11 to 1,200 liquor stores in the state. And we're the only place you can't buy alcohol. You buy it anywhere else. So it makes no sense to me. Zero.
Where are we in regards to the process? Logistically, I know you worked hard at this. And I want to reiterate, I don't think Rick's encouraging people to drink. I think he's encouraging the state to allow a choice as to whether people choose to go down that road or not.
Yeah, Sundays are rest days for me also. It is what it is. But, there's a lot of things on Sunday. The race is coming up. It's on a Sunday. The Super Bowl's on a Sunday. You got holidays, Thanksgiving weekend, Christmas. There's a lot of reasons. You might not drink, but your family member visiting might.
Can I jump in a second? Yeah. You've got your newest location is out by Buc-ee's. I don't want to quote a number, but they do a staggering amount of business.
You're talking about the Buc-ee's, the gas station?
Every Sunday. It's a
1.7 million.
Okay. That's a crazy number that a place called Buc-ee's does in South Carolina. But you mentioned the tourism industry in South Carolina. Do you notice that people are caught off guard when they go to Micky Finn's across the road from Buc-ee's and they can't buy liquor on a Sunday?
It is confrontational. And it's not just Sunday because we're closed. You just watch the cameras. But people that want alcohol can be confrontational. If for whatever reason you need a bottle of champagne for your anniversary you forgot to get, or whether your buddies came home from college and you want to do some Jägermeister shots, whatever it is. So we have confrontation all the time in our stores because we close at 7 o'clock. Be in one of my stores at 6:58 when we call out the 90-second rule. You have 90 seconds, and once these registers turn 7, we won't ring you in, even if you're in the store. Well, tell me how that goes on a Friday night. It isn't pretty. So liquor laws are going to be confrontational anyway. People that don't drink don't want us to sell it. People that do want to drink want more access to it. You got people that want the drinking age to be 18. You got people want the drinking age to be 35. I'm so numb to all that now. But yeah, they don't understand it because it's kind of antiquated.
But once
the choice, you don't have to buy if you don't want to buy. Don't stop at the store.
And I keep going. Now, the libertarian in me says, if you don't want to drink, don't drink. If you do, you should have access to it. Let's go back. So House Bill 4001 is something you're advocating and supporting. That bill is in the process.
I'll tell you how this is. Second year, it rolled over from last year. The way this works, and I don't think anybody wants the civics lessons from me because probably not the person to do it, but you get somebody to put the bill out there and you finally get it assigned to a committee, and you know how this works. So it goes to basically a small committee of 4 or 5, and they allow debate. Now I went up and I went every time, and I spoke on behalf of myself and a few other stores that asked me to do it. I had to get the votes to get out of there, and there was one House member that was really pushing back on it out of Greenwood, and he finally caved and said, "Okay, he's going to get it past me." It's basically how it went down. So it got voted out of that committee on a vote 4-1. So now it's in full committee, which nobody can testify. And I don't know, you probably can tell me how big a full committee is, probably 15.
Yeah, 12 to 15.
12 to 15. So that's where it's sitting. I think I'll get a favorable ruling out of there. So, again, the civics, it's got to go out of that, and then it's got to get debated on the House floor. Well, you got the same thing going on over in the Senate. And the problem with South Carolina is we're not real good at walking and chewing gum. The Senate side has all the other important issues of South Carolina, and there are a lot of them out there. We were talking energy earlier, whatever it is. On my controversial business, they're over there debating CBD and THC, age restrictions, licensing, product placement, where it's going to be sold, milligrams, gummies. SLED testifies. And like I said, we can't walk and chew gum. I'm always afraid that only one thing, if nothing, will get through. We've already taken up one of these bills.
Well, the Senate's infamous for taking a long time to do nothing.
Well, we are, what's today, March 4th? And they're still over there. I got a text yesterday from our lobbying group and some people that are heavily involved in the THC, and you know some of those people. And they've been beating their heads against the wall now for 2 months, and they haven't even gotten to the point where they're going to put an age or a licensing fee on it. Now, those are two things that have to have. It needs to be a 21-year older product. Now, where you sell it and the hours you sell it, and it needs to be a license on it and a tax. I hate taxes, Ken. But that stuff is sold. You can sell it at a fruit stand on the way to the beach. You can get a watermelon and some THC drinks.
How did we get there, Rick? I mean, how did we allow ourselves to let our guard down to the point where we have this reality?
2017 hemp bill, and if there's a will, there's a way. If there's a profit to be made, and that bill was so loosely written, it was designed for other hemp products, but they didn't put restrictions on it. And you give somebody an inch, they're going to take a foot or a mile.
So in essence, you're advocating for further sales of liquor, and you're advocating, it sounds like, against the current situation we have with THC infused drinks.
Ken, I sell a lot of THC CBD drinks. I have a 21 or older policy in my stores. You can't buy anything in my store unless you're 21. We sell Pepsis. You got to be 21 to be in my store. But that's a Rick Havekost issue. That is not a Circle K issue. I'm not advocating for the getting rid of THC at all. It's become a huge category.
But is it the Wild Wild West currently?
We only will deal with about 4 distributors. There's about 100 you can do, and SLED comes in and tests it, and they'll write you fines if it's not. So it's not regulated is the problem.
So are you requesting regulation?
I'm requesting a drinking age. My daughter is 14, soon to be 15. Right now, she goes into the Circle K and it's sold at the counter. All right, that's number one. There's nothing wrong with having any product if it's regulated. I mean, your pain meds from if you have oral surgery, it's regulated. It has to be. You have to have a pharmacist to do that. There's nothing wrong. Don't ban it. We're not banning it. It's like a car. We have speed limits. Your car will drive 100 miles an hour, but you don't want people to do that, so you have a speed limit of 70. We have no regulation. There is no milligram. I think it's a 0.03 milligrams per volume, and I'm not a scientist, but whatever. It goes into this, and people are cheating on that. There's no age restriction. There's no. I don't have to buy it from a federally licensed wholesaler. I can get it from China. I can get it off of Amazon right now. We don't. You see the vape shops right here. Walk in there and tell me what's going on. You don't even know what you're putting in your body. So I'm not against it at all, but I am for structure. I need structure in this business. Let everybody get a playbook, and let's all play by the same rules, and let the state get a cut on licensing.
But if it's a drink that needs to be regulated and the convenience stores don't have the ability to regulate, you just mentioned at the beginning of the interview, your store is so strictly regulated. Wouldn't it make the most sense to allow the Micky Finns of the world to be the dispensaries or outlets for that drink?
One of the proposals is a milligram. 5 milligrams or less sold in convenience stores, and 5 milligrams or higher sold in liquor stores. That makes a little bit of sense. The latest proposal as of yesterday was to let 10 milligrams and less be in convenience stores, and higher would be sold in liquor stores. 10 milligrams is about 80% of the business. They're 50 milligrams, 100 milligrams. So it's all about strength. And that is already the way the system is. Beer and wine can be sold in a grocery store because of the proof. Wine can be sold in a grocery store. Any wine above 15.9% is called a port cherry. It's sold in a liquor store. So there is use the word strength or potency for the reason to be sold. I'm not lobbying for it to only be sold in liquor stores, but the reason why liquor stores have stricter rules, SLED can monitor 1,100 stores. Our licenses are valuable. They're 2-year licenses.
You can't put that at risk.
I cannot. Ken, the numbers I do, we have shared that. I can't lose $50 million a year in sales because of the regulations are there for a reason. And there are about 9,000 convenience stores. There are about 3,000 what we would call grocery stores, IGAs, Publix, et cetera, et cetera. So when you get into all that, SLED is not capable. They don't have enough agents to go in there. They might visit a Circle K once every 5 years. They visit my store. Melissa's our local SLED agent. She shops with me on Friday night. I'm on my P's and Q's when she walks in. She's nice, and she understands. She's going to pull me to the side if I'm doing something wrong. She'll give me a shot.
It's interesting to me as we conclude. On one end, you're asking for a loosening of the regulation. On the other end, you're asking for the tightening of a regulation. And to me, that it's kind of a reasonable argument to make.
I get the conflicting issues, but the one side is, I don't know if I'd ever get Sunday sales. That is a people's choice. People didn't choose to have CBD sold everywhere. It just got forced out there because of greed and profit margins. So if they don't want Sunday sales in Florence County and William Schofield says, I'm not putting it on this referendum, I don't have your 5 votes, it'll never happen. And if he does so, I'll put it out there and the public shoots it down. That'll never happen. The public isn't voting on CBD. Right now, it's in the hands of Jay Jordan and Philip and all those guys up there. And I hope at least there's an age restriction on it, at least that, and some type of biannual license. We have a license for the lottery. We got a license for beer and wine. We got a license for liquor. You have a retail license. They're not expensive. It's $1,200 biannual, $600 a year. But you're registered with the state, who owns the store, where the ticket goes. SLED can't write a ticket for CBD right now. There's no license store. You don't lose anything. I can sell it underage, sell it to anybody I want, and there's no penalty. There's nothing you can take from me. If I sell underage and liquor, they take my license from me. I'm not living in Windsor Force anymore.
You explained that well.
Yeah.
Thank you, my man.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you joining us.
Yes, sir.
Good times always begin at Micky Finn's.
Since 1998, Micky Finn's has been the life of the party. Endless selection and prices worth celebrating. A wide variety of single-barrel bourbons that impress. Tequila, vodka, and all your favorites. A stacked beer selection including craft brews and more. And prices so good you might actually share. Or not.
Here's to Micky Finn's.
3 locations, endless selection, always the best price.
MPD Electric Cooperative was built on a simple idea, working together to create a stronger, more reliable future for our members. Through innovation, accountability, and integrity, we deliver dependable power, invest in education, and drive economic growth across our communities. Because when we work together, we all shine brighter. MPD Electric Cooperative, powering what matters, today and for generations to come.
Discover your future at Francis Marion University, where education meets inspiration. With a faculty dedicated to your success, you'll learn from the best in their field. Our diverse academic programs are designed to spark your passion, provide hands-on experience, and prepare you for your future beyond the classroom. Join us at Francis Marion University, where you'll grow, explore, and thrive as you prepare to take the next step in your journey.
Hey, grab me one too.
At Carolina Bank, we pride ourselves on offering the best and most aligning services to our customers and clients. We're not just your bankers, we're your neighbors, your friends, and your partners in growth. We believe in the power of small businesses, the backbone of our community. That's why we offer tailored small business loans and commercial lending solutions. The relationships we've been able to cultivate over time as a local family business have proven to be a sustainable force for both businesses and the community in which it serves, helping you turn your business dreams into reality. We are and always have been a full-service bank, providing our customers with the right guidance and services specific to their needs. Carolina Bank, building on tradition since 1936.
Shell, yeah, there they are! Peanut Patch boiled peanuts.
Oh, I've heard of these.
Y'all come get your Peanut Patch boiled peanuts, the South's favorite snack.
Looks like y'all are ready to get the boil rolling. Taste the caviar of the South.
Oh, these are the best boiled peanuts.
Reminds me of the peanuts my grandpa used to go and boil when I was growing up.
From roadside stands to kettles and cans.
Let Peanut Patch boiled peanuts bring the taste of the South right to your mouth.
Find Peanut Patch boiled peanuts in stores nationwide.
There's a famous speech called the Whiskey Speech, and in the whiskey speech, a senator from Mississippi, but basically argues for and against drinking. I've always believed that the personal choice to choose your track or your path or your fate, as long as you don't hurt anybody else along the way, is a fundamental to being an American. I am a conservative Republican for the most part, with a tinge of Jeffersonian libertarian. And the libertarian in me says that one of the things we fought the Revolutionary War over It's for people to have freedom of choice, freedom of expression. I mean, we know the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights and all those others. I'm not advocating for drinking. I'm not advocating against drinking, but I am advocating for freedom of choice. And I think what Rick Havekost is arguing is the continuation of what our founders held very near and dear to their heart, and that is not pro-drinking or negative toward drinking, but rather the freedom to choose what you do with your life, to blaze your own trail, to chart your own course, as long as you don't hurt others. We have DUI laws. We have regulations in place. We have guardrails to keep society somewhat constrained from once again, hurting themselves or hurting someone else. But I want to make it very clear, whether you drink or not, that's your business. Whether you oppose drinking as a matter of faith or religion or some lifestyle doctrine you've committed yourself to, that's certainly your business, and you're certainly entitled to that. But I don't know that government has or needs to have the authority to force some people to do what other people decide to do. So I am in favor, once again, I'm not in favor of drinking. I'm not in favor of not drinking. I'm in favor of personal choice. And I believe fundamentally that is one of the issues that as an American, we need to always defend with every fiber of my being, not whether you drink a Bud Light or not whether you drink a glass of Jefferson's Ocean or not, but whether you have that choice. Freedom of choice is essential to American and the American experiment. Enjoy your Friday. We'll talk again next week.
At PLC Commercial, success isn't just measured in square footage. It's built on relationships. Rooted in the heart of the PD, we're more than a real estate firm. We're your neighbors. Our team knows these towns and what makes this region so special. From brokerage to leasing, property management to development, we bring experience, vision, and commitment to every project. Locally grown, deeply committed. Visit plccommercial.com and bring your real estate vision to life.
Shell, yeah, there they are! Peanut Patch boiled peanuts.
Oh, I've heard of these.
Y'all come get your Peanut Patch boiled peanuts, the South's favorite snack. Looks like y'all are ready to get the boil rolling. Taste the caviar of the South.
Oh, these are the best boiled peanuts.
Reminds me of the peanuts my grandpa used to go and boil when I was growing up.
From roadside stands to kettles and cans. Let Peanut Patch boiled peanuts bring the taste of the South right to your mouth. Find Peanut Patch boiled peanuts in stores nationwide.
Hey, grab me one too.
Discover your future at Francis Marion University, where education meets inspiration. With a faculty dedicated to your success, you'll learn from the best in their field. Our diverse academic programs are designed to spark your passion, provide hands-on experience, and prepare you for your future beyond the classroom. Join us at Francis Marion University, where you'll grow, explore, and thrive as you prepare to take the next step in your journey.